Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Hey, what's up with it, fam? It's Hot Boxing Minute, your favorite pharmaceutical engineer turned boxing analyst, back at you with that uncut realness, of course, as only I can bring it to you. Congratulations to all the boxing fans out there for this week. This has got to be one of the most amazing weeks for boxing fans, especially in the last 3 to 5 years. Just a few days ago, we had Cool Boy Stephen Fulton and Naoya Inoue duke it out in Japan. This Saturday, we got Errol the Truth Spence Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford for the undisputed crown at 147 pounds, the welterweight division, the historical glamour division of boxing. This is the most important fight for boxing fans of the modern boxing era, folks. This is our version of Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy the Hitman Hearns. This is our modern-day version of Floyd Money Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Errol the Truth Spence Jr., the eye socket collector, versus Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the best finishers in the game. We've talked about it ad nauseum in the comment sections, and now the eve is finally upon us. Boxing community, I need to know, how do you think this fight plays out between Errol the Truth Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford this upcoming Saturday? Let me know, folks. This is it. Now, I don't even know what to say. This thing has been analyzed, flipped up, turned down, rubbed all kind of different ways, folks. You've seen every single analysis video. People have done technical breakdowns. They've dissected what's going on in the All Access videos. Why is Errol Spence wearing black Air Force Ones? Terrence Bud Crawford doesn't drink hot sauce, doesn't put hot sauce on his food. Why does Errol Spence look sucked up during the pressers and the open media workouts? I'm not saying he looks sucked up. I'm just saying what kind of stuff people are talking about in the online world. You know, everyone has dissected every single minuscule detail of this fight, especially during this media fight week. I'm talking about everyone's comparing their shadow boxing. What does it all look like? What does it even mean? It means that boxing fight fans are finally getting the fight that we've been asking for years. It's been an awesome year, no doubt. We're finally getting Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. And I guess I was going to make this video to kind of say what my thoughts were on this. I'm glad the fight is finally happening, folks. Let me tell you this. When I first got onto boxing social media, it was right around COVID time. I had spent most of my adult life already inside the boxing gyms. I made online social media content, and that's when I finally got into the comment sections and started interacting with people online. I didn't even know how deep the divide was amongst boxing fans as far as Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. For those of you that don't know, the way people inside the boxing gyms communicate and debate boxing is very different than people outside the boxing gyms or general casual fans. Now, there's boxing insiders, people that are inside the gyms that go to the amateur competitions with USA Boxing and all that. And then there's, fans, some who are very, very hardcore. They attend all the fights. Some have just a casual surface understanding of the sport. But one of the things I learned when I first started making social media content is that whether you speak about Bud or you speak about Errol the Truth Spence Jr., no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you're going to piss somebody off depending on what team they're riding for. It is the most unusual thing ever. And I had to learn that when I first got on social media, on how people are hardcore Errol Spence fans. They're from Texas, or they're really big on the promotional platform thing, Top Rank versus PBC, whereas now, Bud Crawford is an independent contractor. Errol is still with the PBC. It's fascinating. It's fascinating to outsiders to try to explain to them how the fandoms really get down and how they tear apart each other. Errol Spence has a better resume than Bud. Bud has more divisions. Bud went undisputed and unified. Errol has only ever been a welterweight his whole career. How does it all stack up? Well, it doesn't really matter. In the end, we're going to find out Saturday, folks. Basically, in a nutshell, what I think the fight boils down to is two very gifted, very phenomenally talented fighters. We know Errol the Truth Spence Jr., under the guidance of Derek James, is a very fundamentally sound fighter. There's really no frills, no excess waste of movement when it comes to Errol Spence. He stays behind his jab. He applies relentless pressure throughout the entirety of the fight, and he loves to go for your body. He uses that body work to break you down. As you slowly break down as the rounds go on, your hands drop, and next thing you know, you end up getting stopped by the ref or you get your eye socket broken. Then we got Terrence Crawford. We got the switch hitter from Omaha, Nebraska, the man who's got one of the craziest knockout to win ratios in all of boxing, Some would say he's the best finisher in the game. It's hard to put your foot down on what it is Terrence Crawford kind of does. He switch hits, he moves laterally, doesn't stay in your face. He can be vulnerable early in a fight due to his slow starts, but he has always managed to figure out his opponents, and he gets the stoppage. This is a 50-50 fight. It can go either way. The betting odds in Vegas, I think, have have Bud a slight favorite, but it really is a true 50-50 fight, in my opinion, on how I think this fight breaks down. Now, there's plenty of different ways you can chop up, cut up. There's so many different ways you can analyze Bud versus Spence as far as what the possible outcome is going to be. The one thing I can tell you, first and foremost, is it's a true and living 50-50 fight. We love these kind of fights because it has passionate fan bases on both sides of this. If everyone is arguing and debating heatedly debating who it is they feel is going to win this fight. When push comes to shove, folks, it can end up any number of ways. Errol Spence can win by decision. Bud can win by decision. It could be a draw. It could be a Spence winning by knockout. Bud winning by knockout. Many different possibilities. And I'm just going to cut to the chase of what I think is going to happen. I've thought about it a lot, and there is no truth to this prediction game. Nobody is Nostradamus or 100% correct with their boxing predictions, but I might as well stick myself out there and give my thoughts on it. I think Terrence Bud Crawford is going to win this fight by late stoppage. I don't think Errol Spence has really seen anybody as dynamic as far as switch hitting and the ability to move laterally the way Terrence Bud Crawford does. I believe Errol Spence will present problems early, maybe even get a knockdown, but I think Bud just has that nasty dog in him, and I think in the second half of the fight, he figures it out and gets the stoppage. That's what I think is going to happen in this fight. Anyways, boxing community, what do you think happens in this fight between Errol the True Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford? Let me know in the comments section. Hit that like button, press follow. If you haven't already done so, you're tuning in to Hot Boxing Minute, folks, the future of boxing analysis on YouTube and TikTok. Peace.